Hey, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we're back for some more Pyre Community RITE Night, which means, of course, some good old-fashioned multiplayer Pyre, featuring first and foremost none other than the members of the RITE Club Discord server, the place for all things multiplayer Pyre. And if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then look no further, because you can join said Discord group by clicking on that link right there. But those of you in chat, you are not off the hook. No, because you see the red circle with the white L below chat. You click on that and you'll find all the various requests that you can make today, including things ranging from selecting players' exiles, masteries, songs, arenas, even Titan Stars are all fair game. So, without further ado, let us hop into versus mode here. I will hop into Discord and let me know if there is anyone who would like to get us started today, or if there is anything we would like to set up for our first match. There we go. Let's see, let me just check. Was anyone saying right off the bat that they were interested? Let's see. Okay, so we do have a request for exiles from Chewing Dragon. Except Chewing Dragon is saying that Lilac picks the exiles. Oh, let me also set this back to our defaults. There we are. So, do we have anything else we'd like to set up? Or, of course, we have not yet established who is going to start us off today. I don't think I saw anyone saying they wanted to start off, so I think both spots are there for the taking. How's it going, Phaler? If you would like to claim one of those spots, or anyone else for that matter. Phaler says he will be the first one to claim a spot, so let me get him in here. At the moment, you're not showing up on Steam, Phaler. Not sure why. Yeah. Did it say you're offline? Oh, you might have just popped up. Now you're there. Okay. So we have one, but at the moment, I think it's still just one. Let me know if anyone else would like to get in. Do we have anyone who is schedule constrained who would need to get in early? Anyone in a later time zone? Or something, or obviously any other sort of time constraints? If not, then I mean, I think it's yours for the taking, Lilac. At the moment, I'm not seeing anyone. So I think you might be in the clear. I mean, last call, I can double check. I mean, I saw there were a few other people. Oh, I wrote her, Core in chat. Of course, Chewing Dragon as well, but don't think I saw any of them saying they were looking to get in now. Let us know if you do want to. But another request from Chewing Dragon, and once again, saying that Lilac is the one who will decide. Core, if you'd like to. I mean, we have yet to establish who that other person is going to be, and it seems like Lilac is volunteering to go a little bit later today. Alright, in that case, it seems it may be Core to take this second spot. invite should have sent core. Let me know if I need to resend. Okay.
Oh, it exploded.
Oh.
Can you rewrite?
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, same.
Wait, it didn't work for you too, Failure?
That's a little concerning.
I'm not in the game right now.
Okay, just resent to both of you.
Yeah, it closed for me.
The heck? I'm tempted to see if I need like a Steam update or something. Give me just a second. I'm going to see if Steam says it needs to update, because sometimes that can be the cause of this kind of thing.
That does seem likely. I just checked my Steam client and I'm up to date.
Let me exit Steam. Reboot Steam. That's it. Huh? No update, Steam? Does Steam have like a drop down somewhere where it just... Oh, check for updates. Is that what it is? Yes. Check for Steam client updates. Steam is already up to date. Okay. Let me just reboot Pyre in that case. It really did smell like a Steam update related issue, but maybe not. Let me try again. That sounds better.
Okay,
Knock on wood.
I am in.
Okay.
I am in.
Nice. Nice. Much better. Okay, so we have what is an arena, a song, and exiles, all from Lilac. The arena is the boat. The song is Knights of the Sea. And then let me double check what the exiles were. Thought I saw. Oh, Orlek, Iggy, and Dalbert. Orlek, Iggy, Dalbert are the 3 exiles. Alright, so with that, I think we're ready to go here. Oh, did both of you get a chance to change to the triumvirate you wanted? I saw Phaler did. I think you're on the Beyonders at the moment, Core?
I'm okay with the Beyonders.
Okay.
Just stick to that.
Let me set you up as soon as you guys actually start getting to the selection screen.
Here you may step closer to achieving freedom. We soon shall see who is the most deserving. Prepare yourselves, Beyonders. The fate stand ready.
Okay, just give me one sec here. So, Core is player 1 and Phaler is player 2, is that right?
No, you have your controller inlets.
Oh.
Oh.
Oops. That has been an issue before and could be an issue again. Let me just make sure I'm unplugging the right thing. Is it? What am I at risk of unplugging accidentally?
Actually, it might be better that you switch and then unplug. It might actually be better that way.
Say again?
It might be better that you switch the ports first. Like, change me to player 1 and then unplug.
Choose someone.
Come on, remote play. Come on, remote play. Let me make Core be player 1. It really does not want to let me do that. There we go. 5th time's the charm, or however many that was. Okay, now let me unplug my controller. I did forget. You are correct. Okay. Alright, now hopefully we're still alright on the controller side for you two. Can we tell who's player 1 and who's player 2 at this point? Not sure who this is who has the... I'm moving a little bit, but...
I think it's you. Am I moving it? Is that...
That was mostly me.
Okay, I can't
have
press
no
anything.
open right now.
I cannot press anything.
This is weird. What? Did I unplug the wrong thing? What did I unplug?
It says you still have your controller.
Yeah. What did I just unplug? Now I'm a little worried. Oh, yep. Well, I unplugged the wrong thing initially. I'm not entirely sure what I unplugged, so that makes me a little nervous, but now the controller should be unplugged. Okay.
I don't know
I'll
if
have to
that's
double
any
check.
difference here, but
Okay. What about now?
I can't do anything.
What about now?
No.
Anything for failure? Let me try. Sometimes Steam really does like having you on player 3. This stagnant controller symbol is weird to me.
Can you try maybe just resetting the right? Like,
Yeah, let's try that.
Stand forth, exiles. You are gathered at the hulk of Horus. You have this opportunity to prove your worth. Know that the scribes themselves are watching. Beyonders, stand ready. The Fate stand prepared. Who shall stand together
yeah, I
here
cannot move.
this
I assume
night?
failure cannot as well.
Still nothing?
Yeah, still nothing for me.
Okay. Oftentimes in the past, I think we have found that if I accidentally leave my controller plugged in, then restarting Pyre is sometimes just the best thing. I mean, it doesn't take that long. Let's do it. Let's do it real quick. I messed that up. My bad. Okay. Now let's try again. Let me get Baylor, Core, oh, sorry, I was tabbed out that time. I didn't realize. My bad. There we go.
This is me. I'm controlling it.
Okay. Seems like that means we have core. That means we have Baylor. And core, which triumvirate would you prefer to be?
Give me accusers.
Accusers today?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Now, hopefully, we are good to go.
Why, hello, exiles.
Third sermon.
You
Getting
heed the
serious sermon
summons
value
to the
today.
Hulk of Horus. You shall take part here in a glorious tradition. The stars themselves shall be your witnesses. Accusers, stand prepared. The Fate stand prepared. Who shall conduct this rite?
Alright, so it was
Uh,
Iggy, Orlek, and was it
Dalbert.
Dalbert, I think? Yeah.
Is Hopeg better?
Opeg is more consistent, but Mooncrest is more dramatic when it does work. So Core goes for the extra hope, whereas Phaler or the respawning support at least, whereas Phaler goes for the prayer beads, which I suppose is a different form of banishment avoidance. Then extra banishment with Dalbert from the banishing throw talisman. Speedy Ignarius for Phaler. Of course, we know that everyone's going to have the same exiles, but the masteries could differ and the talismans, well, okay, in this case they don't differ. But they did, at least on Oralek.
I had different masteries.
And masteries as well. And it's Titan Tooth on Dalbert for Phaler. Alright, so here we go with our first match of the day. There is the Moon Crest activating, although Phaler doesn't care, as he gets some boat magic support for a huge Oralek slam dunk, and with that prayer beads, Oralek is still here, and perhaps he's looking for an encore. Meanwhile, though, Core in possession, setting up a Brazen Manor, and that's valuable. That's a 40 damage plunge. Oralek for Phaler, blocked, but he gets rid of one of the defenders. Retrieves the orb, and then back in for a 25 damage plunge, and again with prayer beads means he's not losing Oralek here, and Core with some unexpected boat magic, it seemed. Maybe not exactly the trajectory or timing he was looking for, but such is the way of the boat. It both giveth and taketh away. Oh, and a bunch of trades there. It's Phaler who's the one who ends up with the only remaining exile in time for a 15 damage throw from Dalbert. Oralek, banished. Now it's Core. Once again, setting up that Brazen Manor, going big or going home. Phaler with it back here. Banishes one, but Core in possession. Iggy, Brazen Manor reactivated and makes it through. 40 damage plunge again. Does, however, mean no Iggy in this round. So numbers advantage to Phaler. That was odd. Really seemed like you would have expected at least one, if not both of those exiles to have gotten banished in that exchange, but both emerged unscathed. And then banishing throw, well, Core didn't need the banishment there. He went straight for the score. 10 damage from that one, cut a little bit short. Oralek for Phaler. Near the Pyre and in the Pyre for a 25 damage plunge. And Iggy for 30 means that Phaler is now in range with any of his exiles. He doesn't have Iggy in this round. In fact, at the moment has only Dalbert. But even Dalbert would have sufficient damage, that is, assuming it is a maximum damage score. The Titan Tooth for Phaler stuns Core, although the boat magic once again has a say. And it helps Core on that occasion to set up a 10 damage throw. And Core quickly follows up with a 25 damage plunge from Oralek. And Core can do as much as 40 damage in one score if he gets the Brazen Manor, except that will not matter here as Phaler finishes the job with the plunge.
Game.
GG. Well played. Let's head on back and let us know, chat, if there's anything we'd like to see for the next one, or of course, if not, we can have the players take whatever they'd like. That works too. At the very least, we'll reset ourselves here. Blood Princess, how's it going? Good to see you. Comes in, doesn't say a word, immediately turns customize off. Now that's how to make an entrance. Doing all right. Nice, nice. So, of course, this means randomized exiles, masteries, and talismans. Won't even get to see what those are in advance. Just going to get thrown straight into the action, and that's almost everything that we can do here. We could still do an arena. We could still do a song if either of those are of interest. But if not... we may or may not have done what was basically a 12-hour Mass Effect 3 multiplayer stream yesterday. My voice may be a little bit sore. Yeah, it was, we were celebrating what was basically, kinda, sorta, our 500th round of Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. So I had some various celebrations and challenges planned for that, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I mean, it's kind of an arbitrary 500 because when you have some cases 11 to 12 hour streams, usually I'm not posting the VODs for those in one humongous chunk. I'm slicing them up into smaller pieces, and so the 500 is counting the slices rather than the original stream. So it's, you know, it depends how you count it, but ultimately, I had a few particular special challenges planned and was looking for an excuse to break them out, so that was reason enough to do it. So yeah, I mean, it basically, it usually is about 3, it turns into 3 videos per week, more often than not. There were times when they were regularly 12-hour streams, and at that point they were like 4 per week that they turned into. At times, you know, shorter streams might only be 2 or 1, but it was, I mean, technically, I think RITE NITE is actually my longest ongoing thing that I have been doing, because I'm pretty sure it predates doing Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. It's just that, again, Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, the streams have been much longer, so when you slice them up in the way that I have typically done, then it adds up more quickly. But alas, let us celebrate some Pyre, perhaps. With this next match, we'll see what we end up with a customize off.
The accusers versus...
Yeah, because it matters, like, you can count it so many ways. When did you start doing it? When, like, how many streams have you done? How many videos have you cut those streams into? So, again, it's arbitrary and for a bunch of reasons. But as for this customize off match, we can see, obviously, Core got a Crone, who he plunges with here for 25. Also a Harp and a Nomad, Lendl, who just got that banishment. And then it is 2 Savages and a Demon for Phaler. Here's Soxiana, plunging for 20. ME3 is... there's the campaign, and then there's multiplayer, which are 2 largely separate things, but Mass Effect is my favorite game, or my favorite trilogy, really. And then Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, I think, is hugely underrated. I think, you know, I don't play a lot of other... it's a third-person sci-fi shooter. I mean, the campaign is an RPG, but that's less so the case, I guess, with the multiplayer aspect. But for other people who play more shooters than me, I've heard them say that Mass Effect 3, despite being what is, like, 13 years old or something like that at this point, it still holds up and is one of the best multiplayer games to date, even though it doesn't get the attention because it's old and it kind of just flew under the radar, even when it was new. What's up, Frosking? How's it going? We're doing a customize off match right now between Core and Phaler. Core's potentially 1 score away here. That throw is unblockable unless Phaler has rekindling, but he does not. So with that play, Core takes the win.
Good game. We both had cursed talismans, by the way.
Oh, I admittedly was a little distracted reading chat and whatnot, but
Yeah, I heard you.
Until the next rite.
I mean, it's customized off. You're always gonna have cursed talismans, right? That's just how it works. So let us know, chat, if there's anything we would like to do for the next one. That was customized off. As always, we can leave it up to the players to take whatever they'd like if we don't have anything in particular in mind, or if we just want to let them do whatever they would like to do. And not immediately seeing any requests from chat here, so perhaps that's what we'll go with on this occasion. We'll leave this one up to the players. Oh,
The accuser
yeah, that's a random boat.
shall confront the fate. Welcome.
Of course, last time
Who shall conduct the rites?
there was a request affecting at least the exiles that the players took. This time it's all up to them. So certainly more flexibility. Be interesting to see how similar the teams are relative to what we saw last time. No imps in our first match. So already a difference there. And no harps either, so Prayer Beads Pamatha is certainly new as well. Sorry, that was probably really loud. That was me accidentally smashing my cup of tea on the table. My bad. Manly with extra starting Pyre life. So this match already looks like it's going to take a very different tone than the last time we saw ourselves on the boat. Though perhaps Phaler took that as reason to go and take Speedy Ignarius, which, at least character and talisman-wise, is something that he took on our previous boat match. I don't remember if that was the set of masteries he took. It may have been. And Leech on Bertrude. That is Core's final choice. Did also take that Crone Salute, which, of course, is important to keep an eye out for, as it will transform all of Phaler's exiles into defenseless howlers once.
Wait, what?
Wait, did you
It's news
take
to
it?
me. No, I took Severed Flame.
Oh. Never mind, Lids is lying. Lids' eyes are just deceiving him.
That's news to me.
Corey, you didn't didn't realize that you took that?
Oh, I guess not. I'll be sure to use
Corey,
that
make sure you
melee.
use the Crone Salute. It's very powerful. It's so powerful that we had to make specific rules around it for tournaments. Titan Tooth Raji. That's the last choice for Phaler. So okay, here we go. Whoa, that was certainly some boat magic for Iggy, but again, it's not always the easiest thing to control. He's a more offensive imp, as you just saw there, from Core. 25 potential damage rather than the usual 15, and there's the... What? Stubborn Flame? But wait, you can't have Stubborn Flame and the Crone Salute in the same Crone build. Core has a dangerous portal. Phaler knows this, but Core still able to make it through.
The fates seem to be fought.
Iggy close, but not close enough on that occasion. So Core back with it here and trying to go all the way with his high damage offensive imp. Didn't quite get the job done, but once again does leave the threat of a dangerous portal, which Core may look to exploit here, and he does. Oh, and with this, the help of the Sap Shield made it a little bit easier for Core to venture through that portal, even if it was right next to Phaler's Pyre and other exiles Phaler had. But Phaler quickly answers with a 20 damage plunge from his Prayer Beads Pamitha, so here she is again, even after that plunge. Ooh, and switches into Ignarius, who just casually flies around the map a little bit. Pamitha causing some trouble as well, but Core still has it here. Trying to find his way around the defense or just blow them all up. And then walks this one in with the sap. I think using the portal that he created with that explosion maneuver. Oh, but not quite quick enough on the throw on that occasion. Phaler trying to answer with Pamitha. Just Bertrude back defensively, but now Messenger Imp returns. Iggy sacrificed. Interesting way in which Phaler got the banishment there. I'm not sure he had planned to banish Core after going through the portal. I'm not sure that Core realized his portal was not going to take him very far on that occasion. Once again, the number of times Core has set up a portal more or less in that exact place. Of course, Phaler can reset it either by re-banishing Core's imp or by scoring himself. Now Phaler has a decent portal as well, but there is Core going through said portal and using that 25 damage imp plunge. But now no messenger imp in this round. Iggy clears out some space and dunks on Bertrude for 30 damage. It is possible for Core to finish this with one score, or it depends. I don't recall which side of the tree gives the bonus damage for the crones when you and whether that is active on this occasion or not. That would be the deciding factor for Core here. Otherwise, he'd be falling 5 damage short from any of his exiles. But Core, with the potential to test that theory, he does have the full 30 damage, and that is just enough to take the win.
It was as though the scribes themselves
Good
stood
game.
by their side.
GG.
Thus end this night's proceedings.
Well played, you two. Alright. So that was all up to the players on that occasion. So let us know if there's anything we're looking for this one, or if we ought to go back to leaving everything up to the players. Not seeing anything at the moment. Let us know if you have anything in mind. Otherwise, we'll jump back in.
The accusers shall now face the fate. Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites?
So no requests from chat for this one either. Once again, up to the players, though once again, one of the more chaotic matches, or maps I should say. Last time the boat, and that certainly can require some specific strategies, and Isle of Kalamer could as well. I mean, it's hard to predict what's going to happen with those imps. Maybe the boat is, dare I say, a little more controllable, or at least you can choose whether or not to embrace the boat magic versus just avoid it. Whereas the imps at the Isle of Kalamer, the choice, it's not really up to you, oftentimes. So Core went Crone in the first spot. Now he's going Leeching Gilman in the second. Quick throwing Ninja Almer for Phaler's second choice. And it's Double Worm here with an Exploding Lady River in the last spot. Whereas Phaler's going for Web Lanthorn on Raji. Big power cast from Headwind, but Core is unfazed. Still able to get this throw off here for the full 25. Wall of Imps. Core able to find his way around once again, quick enough with the throw, this time for 30 damage. Headwind taking some people out with those big casts. Now it's just Headwind, though Lady River returns.
Alas for Headwind.
Lady River on the throw, with Seize Chance active, able to get a little more than the usual maximum of 15. Here's Almer. His throw intercepted there, and then quick counter from Core. That's another 15 damage, and with that, that means one score is potentially all the Core needs here. In fact, any of his exiles would have enough damage to do that. In some cases, may even be able to even get away with a quick partial damage throw. That includes this Crone throw here, which hits for critical damage.
Oh, what a crushing victory it was.
GG.
The ceremony is complete.
Well played, you two. Alright, so let's head on back
Until the stars align.
and let us know, chat, if there's anything we would like to do for the next one.
I think I'm going to do one more and then I'm out for the time being.
Okay. So heads up, if there is anyone in chat who is looking to get in, we will have an opening after this match. And just to check in on Core, how are you doing? Are you good to stick around? Do you want to swap out as well? How are you feeling?
I can stick around for a few, probably after Failure.
Okay, so I know Lilac at one point had expressed interest in getting in a little bit later. I don't know timing-wise if this would work for Lilac. If not, then we may look for someone else to get in Phaler's place, but just a heads up, we will be looking for someone else to jump in quite soon. We do also have a customized off request coming from Blood Princess to finish up this Core versus Phaler matchup. Could do an arena, could do a song if either are of interest, but otherwise, Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans, those are all going to be determined by, well, the will of the scribes, of course. So let's do it.
The accusers shall
Well, it
take
is
on
Phaler's home arena.
the
It's double sap and a worm for Core. That's interesting. It's Crone, Harp, and Nomad for Phaler. Other details to be determined. Winged Fury, that's what? First mastery on the right side, if I recall correctly, for the Harps. I mean, that doesn't tell us too much, I suppose.
thoroughly
Well, everyone down on Core's side. I suppose with 2 saps, not terribly surprising to see a numbing gust, although Phaler waits just long enough to set up that jump there, that plunge from Almer. No prayer beads on him, so he's now gone for this round. Oh, and Core gets just enough on that throw. Oh, and didn't even realize, but Phaler must have had extra starting Pyre life.
Sir Gilman threw it in.
13 damage throw from Gilman. Core's team is an interesting contrast between the very slow pace of double sap and then the comparatively much quicker speed of Gilman. Phaler's team, one might argue, a little more balanced, at least in terms of speed, although I might argue Phaler's team here is quite offensive in nature and maybe a little less on the defensive side. Oh, and straight in once again with the 20 damage Almer plunge. Core straight in with the worm throw. Gilman again, but this time he stopped.
Now to the flame.
Hamatha runs out of steam, gets banished, and the wall of auras that Core has now created around his pyre. Core trying to find his way through, but he doesn't have the mobility you might have with other teams, but still has just enough time to get a 14 damage throw off there. I think I just saw Core has Black Heart on one of his saps out of the corner of my eye.
Sir Gilman flung the orb into the
15 damage on that worm throw.
flame. Shall the accusers press their luck, perhaps?
I think it's Manly here who might have it. Oh, and that sap throw is unblockable from some ranges, but apparently not from there. Core gets the block. Phaler, though, back with it with Udmilda here. Not quick enough to get the throw. There's the Black Heart confirmed.
There.
It's the one that gives Core a 50-50 chance. Sometimes it's momentary infinite stamina when he comes back from banishment. Other times he'll come back as a defenseless Howler, which one might argue, as once again it's the infinite stamina, one might think that would mean it could be a rare opportunity for Core to get more speed on his team, but the Howler speed is based on the base speed of the character. So it might still be marginally faster, but would be among the slower Howlers. Blackheart, well, it's not looking like a 50-50 right now, as I don't think we've seen it proc the Howler aspect yet. But it keeps on being Manly who gets banished. So we will continue to test that theory, and once again, it's infinite stamina. It also has the exploding sapling, which, of course, in the past year or so, players have really found to be a very effective strategy, both offensively and defensively.
United.
Everyone down on Phaler's side here, and Core maybe just quick enough to get a 15 damage throw in. It's always Manly. Always Manly who gets banished, at least. Palmas is just chilling there. Here is Manly, going in for the throw, and that probably would have been unblockable from that range, but got banished before he could get it off. And finally, Manly has in fact turned into a Howler. There he is! It's Manly. Don't you recognize him?
For exile.
Hamatha, blocked and banished. Manly back to his usual sap form. Those exploding saplings once again coming in handy for core. And the speedy worm, but the contrast between the speed of the saps and the worms was just so stark there. Thaler dispossessed, loses Bertrude, now with just Almer back defensively. And as I was saying, not really the kind of situation you want some of these exiles that Thaler has.
More like that, and we are finished here.
No imps, no nomads. Some of the classes that players tend to rely on more for their defensive value, and maybe we're seeing that a bit here.
And it is done.
GG. Well played, you two.
Accusers prevail.
Good games.
They brushed aside their adversaries without too much trouble. The rite is done.
All right. Well, let us head back. GG's, Phaler. Thanks for stopping by. As we were saying, we are now looking for someone to take Phaler's place.
I'll maybe stay in for like 2 or 3 more.
2 or 3 more for core? Okay. So we're looking for at least one person to hop in here. Also, potentially someone in the slightly more distant future, the medium term, to take Core's place as well. As I was saying, I know Lilac expressed interest at one point, but was saying maybe... Okay. Alright, does now work, Lilac? Okay, perfect. Perfect. We are looking for someone now, and as Core was just saying, he's gonna look to swap out relatively soon. So we may be looking for someone else in the not too distant future if anyone else needs to make any sort of preparations or whatnot. But in the meantime, let me get an invite. Where's Lilac? Here you are.
Hello.
Hello. How's it going?
It is going well.
Nice.
How's it going for you?
Tis going. Let us know if there's anything we'd like to do setup-wise for this one, for our first match between Core and now Lilac.
I will go Fate. Yes, perfect.
Oh, okay.
I would summon a certain someone, but I haven't the lid coin for it.
He's not cheap, that Ron guy.
Yep. Also, I know that you do your Mass Effect streams on Saturday, but you missed a very exciting.
Oh, I forgot to
Saturday
ask.
event.
Yeah, how did you guys were doing? You were up to some stuff. Speaking of which, Blood Princess apparently does not lack the lid coin.
Oh.
Blood Princess was like, "Oh, did someone mention Ron?
Oh.
Don't mind if I do."
Thank you, Blood Princess.
Now here's the tricky thing. Typically, when people summon Falcon Ron, it is one of the participants. In fact, on occasion, when someone summons Falcon Ron from chat, I insist that they get in. Now, Blood Princess, I don't know if you're about to jump in right at this very moment, but if not, usually, Blood Princess is like, oh no, what have I done? Usually, at the very least, usually don't have the game installed right now. Okay, fair enough, no worries. But at the very least, typically what we do when someone summons Falcon Ron is we throw on, a Ron here, maybe
only a game against you then.
a Ron there.
Princess.
So, where do I put the Ron on this occasion is what I'm asking. Ron for everyone? Ron for one, but not for all? One for the other one?
Is Core still with us?
I believe so.
Who's asking?
Me, I'm asking.
Oh, look at
Well,
this.
what's your name? You didn't tell me your name in chat. I asked.
When did you forget my name? What is up with that?
I didn't know we ever. I thought this was our first time we met.
I'm realizing now that since this is probably the
Lit.
first time we've ever had two Rons up at the same time, the Ron symbols are not the same size, not quite the same size or position, and this is really bothering me right now. One moment.
Big Ron and Little Ron.
Core's Ron was slightly bigger and slightly lower down.
Wait, make one of them Ron's dad. Can you make?
Oh, I
get a
can't
screenshot?
on a whim like that, but that is that would be cool.
Core, why are you? Core, why have you suddenly forgotten everything about me?
Sometimes I like to forget things about people. I do it on purpose.
I see. Well, my name is Lilac, and we
Nice to
once were nice to meet you too, and we used to be rivals, but at a certain point you changed your ways, and now you're like nice to me and stuff.
Oh, interesting. Whoa, you say we were rivals. That seems like we were both kind of like at each other's throats, right? Is that what was happening? Because you
Does
made
it
it sound
matter?
like, well,
That was in the past.
you said I
The
changed
past
my
is the
ways.
past.
Well, did you change your ways?
If you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you.
That's not what
Whoa.
I'm asking.
Whatever happened to just being
I
nice
feel
for the
like-
sake of being nice?
I feel like she's lying to me. I think she might.
I
be
have
lying.
also changed my ways.
Oh, okay.
All right, why don't we get this one started? This double
and I-
Falcon Ron
And
match.
I do agree with being nice for the sake of being nice.
The accusers,
Well, you sound like a lovely person. I'm sure we'll get along.
the fate.
Well, thank you.
Welcome. Who shall conduct the rites? Sandra.
All right, Snadra in the first spot. I mean, we are on the book, so it does make sense. Oh, let me make it so
Thank
you
you.
can you can like do anything. Would probably be.
Yes.
Oh, actually, also 1 second. Make sure that those are the controls you want, because I feel like last time, most recent
I-
person
I
playing on keyboard and mouse
typically-
had something
This is
else.
like
I
edge
use-
controls.
I use the mouse presets.
Mouse presets?
Mhm.
Okay, there we go. There we are.
There we go.
Oralek.
Alright, so it's Orlek on the other side, or Lilac.
Earlier, my one of my friends was playing The Sims. Are you familiar with The Sims?
I am
Lad?
familiar with The
Vids?
Sims. I've not played The Sims for quite some time, but I mean that
Mhm.
franchise has been around
Mhm.
for a very long time.
It has. She was actually making Pyre characters in
Oh,
Sims.
interesting.
It was very interesting. Ignarius is a werewolf. Are you all right?
I did not know that you could make werewolves in The Sims, nor did I expect for Ignarius to be a werewolf.
So
I
is
also just so
Donario.
happened to have taken a sip of water right before you said
No! I'm sorry. I hope I didn't make you choke.
that.
Headwind.
I hope I did not cause
No,
you to choke.
no. It's fine, it's
Alright.
fine.
All right. Is there anything else about your past life that you've forgotten, Core?
No, it's not my past life. It's about people. Like I forget
It's-
things about people.
What caused this sudden loss of memory?
No, it's not
about-
sudden. It's a ritual that I do.
What?
Wait, hold
Yes,
on.
like
What?
Choose someone.
It's like a mental reset I do on.
The word ritual is it does
Why?
spark
Why do you do that?
some strong imagery.
Why?
It just clears my mind, you know.
Could it be perhaps that you feel remorse for how you have treated me in the past?
Well, I don't. If I did, I don't remember.
Teaser.
Maybe that's the
Uh-huh.
reason, but it's could have just been, you know, baggage, you know, things you don't want to think about, you know.
What do you mean baggage?
Well, it's just like
Are
you know,
you-
like clearing out your cache, like on the internet, you know, it's like it slows it down, you know, it's like a mental thing.
You see, Core, if you hadn't referred to it as a ritual at the
Yeah.
beginning, maybe we could give you the benefit of the doubt here. But
Yeah. yeah.
that just kind of sets you in the wrong direction from the beginning.
What's wrong with rituals?
You know, rituals
the
and forgetting about your
connotations.
past to get rid of baggage. Yeah, just kind of is painting a little bit of a picture here.
What picture?
Giving off some vibes that, you know,
It's giving some rather concerning vibes. shall
yeah,
we say.
you know?
And why is
Just-
that?
I don't know, Core. Why would one need to forget their past by performing a ritual?
Yeah.
That seems like the
already-
kind of thing that most
I-
people don't need to do.
I already told you. I literally explained it. You guys want me to say it again?
Sure.
Sandra.
Because it's
Sure.
like a mental. Like I have things I need to forget.
Why do you? But why? Like, what is it exactly that is so painful to think about that you need to forget about it?
In a
Um,
ritual specifically.
Yeah.
Because
that's just
ritual.
that's how I get rid of it. The ritual's how I get rid of it.
Are there no other ways?
That's how you deal
for
with the
to
bodies,
do
right?
that?
Good.
Yeah, there's no,
there-
not that I know of.
There's a thing called therapy.
Oh no, Core, don't do it. That was not in response to what Lilac was saying. That was in response to what your character was doing.
I've never been to a therapist.
Sandra demonstrates her worth.
I mean, neither have I, but you don't see me doing rituals to forget my past baggage.
To the adversary's flame.
Just saying.
It's completely
Just-
normal. What if the ritual is, okay, but if the ritual is going to therapy, would you have a problem with that? No.
One usually does not refer going to therapy as a ritual.
But it could be. It could be a ritual.
A second wind. Vanished, one and all. Too bad for that one.
Lids, would you consider
And in
going to therapy to be a ritual?
Generally not.
the accused
No.
prevail. They
Yeah, me
overwhelmed their
neither. Me
adversaries
neither,
utterly.
Lids.
When I,
you
you know,
have a
when I think
problem with the
ritual, I
word.
tend to think like, you know, dark room, mood light, or, you know, like fires burning in the background.
No. that's
Maybe
not what-
like, you know,
And why did you call it a
effigies.
ritual?
That's just your imagery.
Align.
Use a word if you don't mean a ritual.
A routine.
then
How about
don't
that?
say-
It's a routine.
Okay,
much better.
that's-
Much
event.
better.
Okay. I'm sorry
But-
for saying the wrong word.
But it's still, although it's still a routine in which you like delete memories that are painful to you.
They're not. I don't know whether they're painful or not. They could just be useless. You know. Like I don't need them anymore.
You don't need.
I think
so you
I think
don't
we're conflating the words ritual and routine a bit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to.
This is also in
Explain to you.
response to what Frost King was saying.
Yeah, exactly. Brushing teeth could be a ritual. Exactly. That's my point. Like it's like it can be mundane. It's a mundane ritual.
I guess.
Well, anyways, is there
Anyways,
anything we would
beliefs,
like to
you
do to
guys are
color
too
this next
imaginative.
ritual of pyre dowsing.
Exactly. See, pyre dowsing is a ritual.
Good old Ron.
Well, he was there in the previous match, and he's
Yes,
here as
while we were
well in a way, I suppose.
He was there while we were discussing the definition of rituals. which, like,
Perhaps that was
feels
the power
fitting.
of Ron seeping through.
It feels very fitting. Also, I apologize for.
Oh yes,
coughing
I
so
am
much.
familiar with the Nasarema. They are a brutal tribe.
The what?
The Nasarema.
The who?
The Nasarema. I mean, it's it's not something that I think people usually like to talk about, but sometimes I think, like let's be honest. I mean, technically speaking, by some accounts, you could say that I'm a part of the Nasarema.
I understand now. I understand now. Oh, also, I was gonna say I apologize for coughing so much. I am still recovering from being sick.
Oh, hope you're starting
That's
to feel
okay.
better.
Yeah, I hope you get well.
Thank you. Well, thank you.
All right. Well, we have the customize off for this one, so that does cover a lot of things. Let us know if we'd like to add, say, an arena or a song to that, but otherwise we may be good to go. Oh! We will continue to find new ways to misspell this word. Actually, is that a new way, or is that a continuously the same way to misspell this word? I don't remember. Either way, whether you call it the boat, the goat, the bogut. A bogut is definitely not new, because I remember
Yes.
I remember referencing Andrew Bogut previously. Dirty deal for the scribes. Alright, let's go. Oh, we should have done dirty deal for the Falcon Ron, right? I'm sorry, I forgot.
You're a fake Ron fan.
I'm sorry.
Accusers,
Fake fan.
I didn't mean it. I'm sorry.
Hey, stop saying that to Vids.
I was jesting. I was jesting.
You are my
accusers
feeling.
make their
I was
mark
joking.
upon the
I was
flames.
joking. I'm sorry, Liz.
Well, we do have a customize off match here featuring 2 Savages and Oralek on Core's side, and then on Lilac's side, that is a Worm, a Sap, and Bertrude, the Crone. And that's a can singularity on Bertrude? Not on Lady River. It's either on Bertrude or on Fulfred for Lilac. We see that that's infinite stamina, clearly,
Merely a glancing
for Almer, and we also see the Stubborn Flame, which tells us quite a bit, in fact, about
Hey, why did
Lilac's
you get-
Bertrude.
Tor, why did you get all the good characters?
What are you talking about?
You got Faye
You're-
and Almer and
You're
Orlin.
Sap and Worm.
So,
Oh, you have Lady River. That's a good character.
Yeah, what's up with this Fulfred and Bertrude
Yeah, why
slander?
don't you like Lady River?
And
now, Oralek.
and Lady River, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Blood
wait,
Princess.
what-
That's why we need to make any dirty deal requests dirt cheap.
An unimpressive thrust, but
Make
true.
a new reward.
Also,
thing.
you're complaining, but you literally turned off custom, so
If
you should
I
not be
were that
complaining.
one, I'd be rather angry.
This is your own fault. You got this character.
It's not like I specifically chose the characters. I chose customize off of.
But you could have chose. But you could have.
I'm allowed to be disappointed with the characters given.
Yeah, but you're complaining as if I did something when it wasn't me. It was you that decided we were in this state. You could have decided to pick Orlek.
I was saying, how come you get the good characters? Like, I was cursing the scribes rather than you.
Whoa, whoa, that's
Well, that's blasphemic, and I take even more offense to that.
I'm sorry, okay?
You're really offending me. Is this how it was within our rivalry? You attack me, and I was just defending myself?
No, I'd say it was kind of more the opposite.
A nearly negligible
Personally.
effort.
Of course that's what you would say.
The orb.
I see you're
A
back to
weak
your
attempt, and yet it
old
hit the
self.
mark.
Well, yeah, it sounds like so it's right. I'm defending myself. That's my old
No.
self, I guess.
Oh,
Lids, help me out here. Liz.
So, about that right, we see that now Lilac had exactly 11 Pyre life, which with Stubborn Flame meant that Core could deal precisely 10 damage with that throw, and so now Lilac with 1 Pyre life remaining, no! There's Rekindling. Lilac still holding on here. Oralek, oh, can't quite get the job done. Came awfully close, but Lilac back in possession. Here's Lady River. Stowaway, whoa! Throws it in, but that's only 7 damage. So Lilac still holding on here. Almer just seeing how black magic-y his jump can get. And we do have one time where someone was able to get a full loop around, at least one full loop around with a jump like that on the boat. But we had never seen it since. Oh, that was close.
I don't have Trader's Flight, so I can't do it.
Oh, okay, yeah. Lilac in position to intercept the throw. Now Core back with it. The BM. Oh, the double BM.
and it is done.
But alas, it is
The
done.
accusers prevail.
GG.
They vastly
This will be my last
outperformed their adversaries.
Well played, you two.
The rite is complete.
Alright, let's head on back, and I know, Core, you were saying that you were looking to swap out in the
Until the
fairly
next
near
round.
future.
Yeah, this next one will be my last one.
Okay, so in that case, we are looking for someone who can take Core's place after this match, so is there anyone who would be interested in doing so? Let us know. But we do have an Exiles request at the very least for this last matchup between Core and Lilac. Do we have any players who would like to take Core's spot? Not in this match, but in the subsequent match? I mean, I suppose also, of course, if there is anything else we'd like to do in our last matchup between Lilac and Core, let us know. We could add more to that list, but it's the Stowaway, an Imp, and a Harp are the 3 exiles specified. Oh, yes, we will need to turn Customize back on, and we are not at the boat, or at least not yet. And also is not Dirty Deal, unless the scribes say otherwise. So it seems like this is it, but we have a help wanted poster up for someone to take Core's place, so we can get this one started, but we will need someone to take Core's place after this.
The accusers versus the fate. Welcome.
All right.
Who shall conduct the rites?
So Stowaway, Imp, Harp. That is
Wait,
the
for both
request.
teams or for
But I assume this is both teams' Blood Princess,
Alright.
right? No mastery requests, no talisman requests, so that much is up to you guys. Both teams confirmed.
Ah, the false step versus dark finger. Who will win?
2 stowaways will enter. Only 1 stowaway will leave.
And then the other stowaway will come back because she false stepped.
Yeah, or she ascends despite us not being
Right.
at the Fall of Solium.
Oops. That was a mistake. Please forgive me.
Oh. Oh.
What?
Okay, hold on. I need to just describe what I thought just happened.
What?
I
what?
thought when Core said, oops, that was a mistake, he had just locked in that imp with only 3 masteries. And then I thought that Lilac was then using this button to check back to see, oh, what was it that Core made as a mistake? And then I saw someone select that 4th mastery. So I thought that Lilac then went in and allocated Core's 4th mastery for him to make up for that mistake. I was very confused.
Thank you, Lilac, for doing that.
You're welcome.
I was like, what? You can do that?
Apparently you can. I have a question that might be a hot topic of debate
Oh.
to pose to both of you. In your humble opinions, which do you think has better character designs, Pyre or Hades?
Character designs? Do you mean artistically speaking, or in terms of like the way that the character has a personality and dialogue? I'm trying not to use the word character to describe
aesthetically
character.
or like in the lore, like
Yeah.
personality.
I specifically said character designs.
Well, the design can mean artistically or can mean like
I meant artistic. I meant artistic designs.
Oh, there's the false step. I might lean Hades, to be honest, just because I feel like they're a little more elaborate in that case. I mean, there are more characters total. There are more famous characters. I think there's just more you can do with Hades.
Just because they're famous doesn't necessarily make the design.
Yeah, but I mean, well, but it's not just that they're famous. There's like thousands or hundreds, if not thousands of years of, you know, stories and myths that you can use as inspiration. So, you know, there are lots of subtle details that you can acknowledge and add that add depth to the art.
An unimpressive thrust, but true. There.
Interesting perspective. Core, what's your opinion?
Owner, are we talking Hades or are we talking Hades 2? No spoilers.
Either, both, since
Yeah, I mean, they're
kinda-
similar, obviously.
They're similar. But core, which is better? Which is better?
I don't know.
You're part of you're part of the right club, but you don't know.
Well, so's Lids. What you get on his back?
Thoroughly
Ooh,
banished.
everyone banished
Taken.
on Lilac's side.
Barely
And
up
I feel
almost
like
the last second
the
save.
Pyre designs, like they seem to have more personality to them, kind of. Like they tell you more about the character just through the design alone.
the orb flies
Aesthetically, I
through.
like Pyre more, I think.
Your victories at hand.
I think certainly the aesthetics of the arenas and like areas.
Yes.
I would
Oh,
definitely
yes.
give to Pyre.
scribes ordain.
Nice job.
Well, thank you.
That's it.
How very kind of you to say.
And it is
With that score, Core
GG.
takes the win. GG. Well played, you two.
their adversaries must be crying tears of shame.
All right, well, I'm out.
The
GG's, folks.
ceremony
GG's.
is
Thanks for stopping by, Core.
Yeah, as always, let's thank you for streaming and hosting.
Catch you
until
later.
the stars align.
Catch you later.
See ya.
And that does mean, as I was saying before, we are still looking for someone to take Core's place, and Core's gone now. I think Pyre characters aesthetically, but agreed that there's a lot of thought put into Hades' design based on pre-existing mythos.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, take, for example, in Pyre, there's a difference between the art for a character when you see them in a non-gameplay environment. Like, when you're in more the visual novel mode,
Mm-hmm.
you get a different character model, different sprite, whatever you want to call it, for when you're in the visual novel version or aspect of the game compared to when you are in the rites themselves. And although the raiments look cool, you could argue that because the raiments only differ slightly from one character to the next, that there's less room there for you to do fancy things for Pyre. Like, you know, everyone on the Nightwings has the same color raiments. Yes, the characters obviously are different shapes and sizes and what have you, and that makes them look different, but especially with the mod that we've done, where you can make any character have any color raiments, there's no visual distinction between Jodariel, Ignarius, and Vizpaleth if you are using them as your only demon on your team. So, in that way, you could argue that detracts from Pyre visually a bit, which is, again, why I also think that it depends on what aspect of Pyre we're talking about. Like, the arenas themselves, I think some of them are really, really good.
Oh,
Frost
yes.
King, you up to hop in? Absolutely, you're welcome to. Like, especially when you have the sermon intros and you get the dramatic zoom in on the arena and you see all the stuff in and around the arena as well. And it gives it more atmosphere.
Hello.
Did we get a Frost King? I think we may have gotten a Frost King.
Sound is gonna be like.
Hello, Frost King.
Hello, hello. Let me get you an invite, Frost King.
Frost King, did you say you were cooking something?
Oh.
It's in the voice text.
Should I be concerned? Should I check it?
You can check if you want. It's nothing to be concerned about.
Thank you.
It's a little stowaway drawing. Nice.
I love her.
I'm not gonna lie, when you said that you were cooking at first, I thought you meant, you know, literally. I was like, oh, I wonder what Frost King is making. Didn't realize we were speaking metaphorically. Alright, well anyways. Frost King, remind me. Do you usually you play on controller typically, right?
I'm saving this to my computer. I'm saving this to my computer now.
Frost King, which triumvirate would you like to be?
I'll just be the Nightwings today.
Nightwings?
I think.
Okay.
Yes.
There you are. Okay, and let us know if there is anything we would like to do for our first match between Frost King and Lilac, or if we want to give Frost King a moment to warm up first before we start doing anything crazy. Up to you. Not immediately seeing anything, though, and maybe it's in Frost King's interest to keep things simple here, at least at first. At least at first, we can leave this one up to the players.
The Night Wings shall take on the fate. Welcome.
Alright, so that means the team
Who shall
composition,
conduct the
everything
rites?
here is all up to the players.
I just remembered, are either of you familiar with a program, well first, are either of you familiar with, like, I think Python coding whatsoever?
I'm not a coding person, but I know, or like, some of the people who have made the mods, some of those involve Python.
Mm-hmm.
So, people like Phaler and iRotor, Core may have done some stuff in it as well. I mean, I think in general, there's a lot of, nowadays in particular, coding has become just so common that we probably have several people with experience with it.
Mm-hmm.
I know we have at least a few, and I suspect there are probably more that I just am not even aware of. But I am not really one of them.
That is alright.
Alright, so Amtha and now Stowaway on Frost King's side. Now Speedy Bertrude for Lilac. Mooncrest Orlek is Frost King's final choice. Whereas Flame Leech Orlek is the direction that Lilac will go in.
Begin.
Tizo, now Orlek. Stowaway trying to take him out. Meanwhile, Orlek just leaps over her. He's hard to pin down, that Orlek, but Frost King does just that. And now it is Frost King with Orlek. Knocks back all the defenders and sets up a 25 damage plunge. But no Orlek for Frost King in this round now. Oh, and that's a big leap from Lilac's Orlek. Not only 25 damage, but the leech as well. But again, means no Orlek, this time now for Lilac.
Move. Now to the flame.
Bertrude. Down she goes.
Now then.
Orlek against Tizo.
Glory to the
Orlek dunks it in, posterizes Tizo.
The Night Wings Pyre burns brighter for the wild.
Ooh, and there was a speedy maneuver from Pamitha, but not quite able to sneak through there. And now it's Lilac returning the favor, knocking away the defender with that Orlac jump, setting up the 25 damage plunge. Plus Leech. That was weird.
What?
I'm not sure what happened. That was me tabbing back in.
Wait.
That's why your character moved for a second there, Lilac. But the game just may have auto-tabbed out. Oh, and we have a bot. Yeah, ignore the bot, please. I'll ban them once this ride is over. Or if Thaler's still in chat, if you don't mind banning him, that'd be great. Maybe it was the bot that made me tab out unknowingly, somehow, some way. Hopefully the bot doesn't magically have that kind of power.
Maybe it's East.
Whoa, no, we don't speak that name here. Orlac against Orlac, and well, Orlac does win.
The Night Wings now are closer to achieving victory.
It's Orlac again. Although, from a purely mathematical standpoint, if Orlac trades scores with Orlac, Lilac wins that duel because Lilac gets the extra value from the Leech, which Frost King does not have. Right now it is Lilac who is Orlac-less. So advantage Frost King in that way. Tizo just kept on going. Eventually he does get banished. Pamitha. Around and in. Thank you, Phaler. And it's still more Orlac. And it means now that one score is potentially all that Frost King needs, but again, Lilac does have access to Leech, may be able to change that, or Stubborn Flame, reducing Frost King's damage, which I did not even remember that Lilac had.
The orb is taken.
Now, opportunity here for Lilac. With no one back defensively for Frost King, the tides may have turned. It's not enough damage, but it does provide Leech, but it deactivates Stubborn Flame, so both players have enough damage here to finish it, and it's Frost King who takes the win. GG. Dramatic ending.
Came ever so close.
Well played, you
This
two.
night's proceedings.
All right, let's head on back. I don't know how we're gonna one-up that one.
The next
That's hard to top. But let us know, chat, if you have anything in mind. What do we think? That one was just up to the players, I think, right? So it may just be that leaving it up to the players is gonna lead us to some pretty nice matches, some pretty close matches. But Frost King says, nah. Who needs control? Who needs order? Chaos. Chaos is what we need. Customize is off again. We could do an arena, we could do a song. Technically, we can also turn talismans off or reduce the number of masteries, so it is actually still possible to do some of those things, but it may be that customize off is all we're looking for here. If that is so, then we can certainly get started. Oh, hold on, we can do that. We still have time to do that.
the night.
We still have time to set up the arena. We have a request to put us at the Nest of Triesta. I got you, Blood Princess, I got you. I don't think we've seen it yet today.
The Night Wings versus
Maybe early on and I forgot. But it's an imp, a worm, and a crone for Frost King. It's a sap, a demon of the non-Orlac variety, and Lendl the Nomad for Lilac. Oh, big double banishment for Frost King, but Lilac still in possession here. It's Lendl. Lendl has a Cursed Talisman.
Someone grasp the orb.
You saw there, he maintained his aura even after picking up the orb, and it slowly shrinks, or actually, somewhat quickly, shrinks over time. That is a Cursed Talisman. It means he can't cast, right? It's not really something you want to see on a Nomad. Casting is, kind of their calling card. But we'll see how Lilac deals with that. See if we can figure out anything else that players have setup-wise. Frostking is getting big value out of these Crone casts. Iggy.
Someone there rose to the occasion.
Not quite. Frostking now with Deluge. Watch here. Lendl still has the aura. It does shrink. But Lilac able to make it through. 20 damage plunge from Lendl. Stunning Claim freezes everybody, while Frost King may have just been testing to see if it was there. Well, confirmed. Oh my word. Well, now it's a 30 damage plunge. I believe that is Iggy, right? Yeah. No prayer beads on him. Down goes Lendl as well. But you see there, the aura not big enough to prevent Frost King from getting the banishment, and so Frost King able to follow up with the 30 damage Crone plunge. No prayer beads though for Vorfrit. She is now out in this round. Iggy. Into the lava he goes. Now just Deluge back for Frost King. That is enough, and with Avenging Aid, brings back Tizo. This is, well, one could argue, a fairly defensive team for Frost King, or at least when Tizo is one of the few exiles you have. I mean, we just saw how much value Tizo has when it comes to banishing. That has to be something increasing Tizo's cast, right? That is ginormous.
That's not natural.
Frost King maybe now, having made this discovery, might change up the plan a bit, but oh, 20 damage, I didn't realize, but it looks like that Lendl is mostly left side there. So that is built-in leech. 15 damage on the Worm Plunge. No prayer beads on Deluge, though. Vorfrit is back, and by several accounts, you could say perhaps Frost King's most potent offensive character, offensive threat. Frost King just waiting for the right moment to activate that big implosion. You actually need to be careful in this arena. The Imp Sprint, little hop, can actually take you into the lava. And lava, as Frost King demonstrated there, voluntarily or not, lava only ever gives you a 2-second respawn time, which is faster than basically anyone would have from a normal banishment. Oh, look at that. That actually would have been enough damage to finish the job for Lilac, except Frost King had hidden rekindling of the RITE Light variety. And that is why Frost King still has 20 Pyre life. Frost King leaps in for 30 damage from the Crone plunge. Once again means no Crone. There's the Stunning Claim. Oh, Lilac's momentum almost was enough to take Lendl in, even after the freeze, but Lilac still able to finish the job. GG.
Excellently done this time, I must admit.
Well played, you two.
The rite is ended.
All right. Let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And that was Customize Off. Let us know if there's anything we would like to do for this next one. Also had locked in the Nest of Trieste. But unless we hear otherwise, we'll revert to the defaults, and we'll let the players pick. But if you have something else in mind, let us know. Not seeing anything at the moment, so this one might go back to being a player's decision. Seems so.
The Night Wings shall confront.
Did I remember to reset the arena? I'm pretty sure I did.
Yes.
Welcome.
So I think this is just a random
Who shall
2
conduct the
nests of
rites?
Trieste in a row. Of course, last time was customized off, so players couldn't do anything to tailor their team to this specific arena, whereas this time, maybe, players might have something nest specific.
Does the Crone legendary talisman shoot through the gaps?
That is a great question. I want to say yes, but don't quote me on that because it's been a long time since I remember seeing it.
We'll
Well, I
find out.
don't know. For science!
Bertrude.
Alright, well it is a legendary talisman Bertrude. We'll find out one way or the other. And then, perhaps after having seen Lendl without the ability to cast, Lilac opts for a Nomad who can cast on that occasion. Now a Ninja Almer in the second spot for Frost King. Answered by a Titan Tooth Stowaway.
Exile.
Speedy Vorfrit is the final choice for Frost King. And Leeching Snadra is the final choice for Lilac. That's 2 Nomads there. And I think that went through, Frost King.
I think so.
Also a very dark and foreboding raiment color on the second Crone. Actually, yeah, come to think of it, both teams have 2 of a kind for a given class. It's double Crone for Frost King, it's double Nomad for Lilac. And here is Frost King, plunging in for 30 with one of those Crones.
It seems the Night Wings are a bit ahead.
That is a very speedy Crone indeed. Oh, but not speedy enough on the throwing side of things, as that's of course just movement speed. Stowaway
Take
plunges in, good for 20.
The Fate have gained an edge for now.
Bertrude down. Here's Forfeit. Forfeit down. Now just Ulmer back defensively. Oh, but he teleports to the orb, turns defense into offense, and converts for 20 damage here.
I wonder, shall the Nightwings press their luck? There goes old Bertrude.
Forfeit. Leaps seemingly over the Pyre, but once again gets caught just before releasing the throw.
That one almost got
Bertrude returns just in time to make the stop for Frost King. And leaps in for 25.
a banishment.
Oh, that was dramatic, as Forfeit seemingly hit everyone on that jump, but everyone except for the Pyre.
What happened there?
Forfeit chasing after everyone now. And, oh, but the orb does not cooperate for Frost King, who is still able to make it in, though, and that is just enough damage to get the job done.
Their adversaries confidently thwarted.
Well played.
The right is done.
There are some lines in particular that are really sassy. Yeah. Alright, well, let's head on back.
Till the stars align.
And let us know, chat, if there is anything we would like to do for the next one. Yeah, and confirmation, we did in fact reset the arena, so that was a random 2 nests in a row, or the first one was guaranteed, but the second one was not. Oh! Hold on. We're gonna have to go in order of request here. So first we have Blood Princess's customize off. Then after, well, actually, no, I take it back. It is possible to combine these things. It is possible to combine these things. It does technically detract a little bit from the customize off, because there are fewer things that are getting randomized, but if Frost King and Blood Princess, if you both are okay with that, that would mean we would have randomized exiles and talismans, but obviously no masteries. Is that okay?
For me, yes. I was planning on doing customize off along with that anyway.
Oh, alright, and Blood Princess is cool with it too, so there we go. Alright, so no masteries for anybody. And we don't know what we're gonna end up with, because it's a modified version of customize off. I mean, so often we just, and admittedly I fall victim to this as well, I just assume customize off means you can't change anything with the other stuff, but you can still turn off talismans or change the number of masteries. So there's a little more nuance there, and we see, well, I suppose, given that, there isn't quite as much to test out here. We see the characters. It's a demon, a nomad, and the most stylish man on the downside, blessing us with his glorious plunge on that occasion for Frost King. It's 2 curs and a harp for Lilac. We know no one has any masteries, but we do not know what their talismans are. So that's the big question. Gareth? Somehow banished the enemies that blocked him. Incredibly stylish.
Barker throws himself into
But
the
Barker,
flames.
plunging here for 15.
Now then.
Tamitha. And of course, it's not often that we play with no masteries, and so sometimes it's a bit of a shock to realize, oh hey, this thing that I kind of just assumed that this class always is able to do, sometimes you realize, oh no, that's just because people always take this one mastery.
And poor Ruki.
Gareth plunges again.
Purifying flame.
Good for 20 damage. But it means no Gareth in this round, because he does not have prayer beads. So here's Lendl instead. Significantly less stylish, but we'll give him the 20 damage nonetheless.
Once more like that, and we are
And it does mean that one more score is potentially all Frost King needs. In fact, that is the case. There it is.
the Nightwing's prevail.
GG.
GG indeed.
Conducted with aplomb.
Well played, you
The
two.
rite is done.
And who else getting the final plunge? But of course, Gareth.
Until the stars align.
And let us know, chat, if there's anything we would like to do for the next one. That was a pretty rare combination of Customize Off plus 0 masteries. Are we looking for anything in particular for this one? If not, of course, we can always leave it up to the players to go with whatever they'd like. But seeing nothing of the sort, it seems like we're going back to this being all up to the players.
The Nightwings shall
I think this is our first match at the pit.
Welcome.
I'm pretty sure.
Who shall conduct the rites?
And again, no requests from chat, so all up to the players to take whatever setups they'd like. Frost King opts for the speedy Tizo. Extra starting Pyre Life on Oralek for Lilac. Ooh, canned Singularity on Jodariel. Now that's interesting.
Sir
Exploding Gilman for Lilac. An extra, bunch of extra starting Pyre life from Ignarius there. Lilac goes the speedy Jodari. Alright, so here we go. These teams all are all from the players. First time, as I was saying, I'm pretty sure that we've been at the pit today.
Close call there, no?
Jody for Lilac. Knocks back the defender and creates enough space for a 30 damage plunge, but you might have noticed Frost King has quite a bit of Pyre life, as does Lilac, to be fair. But here is Frost King, plunging for 15. Oh, I will be honest, I thought that was about to be a plunge, but banishment at the last second there. Oh.
What? Wait, what?
Are you stuck?
I started lagging for a bit.
Okay, are you good
Oh.
now? Do you want me to uninvite, reinvite? Sometimes that helps.
Wait, it kicked me. I think.
Yeah, let's try that. See, that looked suspicious there.
Hmm.
Okay, should have just resent you the invite.
There we go.
Okay. I'll give you guys a countdown. I'll go 3, 2, 1, go, and then I'll hit resume.
Mhm.
3,
Okay.
2, 1, go.
Ferocity unbridled.
Orlek does get his plunge after all.
Flames. Shall the fate press their luck, perhaps?
But now no Orlek in this round for Lilac, and nearly able to get the job done with Jodariel, but just missing the mark. Frost King through the portal. Brings Jody close, and there's the finishing touch he was looking for. 30 damage from that plunge.
Best not get overconfident, Nightwings.
Orlek back now. Lilac straight in
Name of
for 25.
Sodium,
And it's really a battle of the demons here in many ways. Although, of course, Frost King takes that as an invitation to immediately then plunge with an imp, just to prove Lid's wrong.
fire burns brighter for now. Into the adversary's flame.
But now it is back to the demons.
Now for
And, of course, then immediately the demons all take each other out and bring out Gilman as the only character. But now Ignarius emerges as the only character remaining, and so it is a demon after all, getting the score here. It's a 30 damage throw, followed immediately thereafter by a 15 damage imp plunge. Oh. Lilac. That's Orlek, so that's 25 damage rather than the 30 you get from the other demons. Dangerous portal now for Frost King, but Lilac in possession. This is Jody. She's banished. Series of banishments, in fact.
To the flame.
Jody takes everyone out except the orb. Inadvertently hits Frost King's Pyre, and that nearly was just enough to stop Lilac, but does retrieve and then still manage to plunge after that, and we are awfully close here. Frost King at 65 Pyre life and Lilac at 60.
Wait, did you leave the voice call?
Me?
I heard a disconnect and reconnect noise, and then I heard you talking again.
It wasn't me. At least not knowingly.
I think it was you.
It was you!
I was wondering about the silence.
And then, right as you say that, the voice randomly goes, "Indeed!" Maybe it was the voice all along.
It's all his
Does the
doing.
voice use Discord?
Well, with that plunge, now Frostking only needs 1 score here. Lilac would need 2. Oh, but Lilac making what is potentially a game-saving defensive play, and now on the attack with a 30 damage plunge, and now it's sudden death. 1 score, either player, any character would have sufficient damage. Partial damage throw is maybe not enough, depending on the circumstance, depending on the player. But Lilac is close, but not close enough. Frost King with a dramatic save. Through the portal, Frost King goes, and in for the win is Tizo. GG.
A narrow victory.
Well played.
Less commendable. The rite is ended.
Alright, well, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
And it's getting late enough now that I think this would probably end up being our penultimate rite, the last one in which we take any requests from chat. So if there is anything else we would like to see before the night is through, this would be our last chance to do it before the liberation rite. Of course, we won't take any requests for that. So is there anything we still have yet to see, or that we'd like to do again, before the night is through? And that's why I said that last part. Because I know we may have done Customize Off before, but Frostking says we can certainly still do it again. And we did mess around a little bit with the number of masteries previously, even with Customize turned off. So technically that is possible. As well as talismans, obviously Arena and Song, those could still be changed too. But Exiles, Masteries, and Talismans will all be randomized at the very least. Is that it? No talismans. Okay, well, we did no masteries with Customize Off last time, so only fitting that we flip the script this go round. Is that everything? It would seem so. Except the Begoat. Slightly different spelling this time, I think. The placement of the G has changed. It's the B-Goat.
The Night Wings versus the Fate.
Alright, so what do we end up with this time? It's Demon Sap Cur for Frost King. It is Crone Sap for Lilac. This time we have masteries, but we do not have talismans. Those are, of course, randomized with the Customize Off, and we also have Thrash Pack. Frost King with Dalbert here. Against his usual triumvirate, of course, the Fate.
Unfortunate for Dalbert.
Lilac wins it back here with Vizpoleth. Oh wait, did I say double Crone? No, obviously it's Demon Crone Sap for Lilac. So yeah, both players have precisely one Demon and one Sap. Yeah, these are actually extremely similar teams, at least class-wise. The only difference is Cur on Frost King's side and Crone on Lilac's. And here is Lilac, plunging with that demon that I somehow mistook for a Crone at the beginning.
Yes.
And Frost King very quick there with a 20 damage Cur plunge.
How dare you call Vizpoleth a crone?
I mean,
She is
the
young
demon
and
on
beautiful.
Frost King's side is also Vizpoleth, so it's the same character on either side, just for some reason. I recognized it as a demon for
What
Frost
do you
King, but
have
not for
against
Lilac.
Vizpoleth? What do you have against Vizpoleth?
Apparently, I only have something against Vizpaleth when it's Vizpaleth on the Fate.
Definitely thwarted the drive.
Well, here is Vizpaleth, the Nightwings version. Doing a little bit of, just a little hopscotch more than anything there. Not really the big boat magic jump we're used to seeing. Now I feel like Lilac has taken inspiration by this statement and then immediately proceeds to do some additional hopscotch. Some pogo sticking. Vizpaleth down, though. The other Vizpaleth, for Lilac, also down. Everyone down, it seems. Except, oh my gosh, a flying Volfred! When pigs fly, they said. But what about saps? They said the day would never come.
Now there's a proper dowry.
Well, it is, once again, the misclassified Vizpaleth for Lilac getting the plunge there. Volfred moving in for Frost King. And blinks in for
What?
25 damage. Maybe it's just me, but I was expecting for that to turn into a throw, but a blink instead caught me off guard, and then Lilac plunging for 30 here. Now, of course, both players have saps. We have customized off, so we don't know what masteries they have, but it could be that either player may have rekindling. We know they don't have rekindling from the RITE NITE talisman. But with the sap masteries, it may be the case. Vizpaleth. Now Volfred for Frost King. Back to Vizpaleth. Now it's a throw. This time it's 16 damage, and that means that it is possible for both Frost King and Lilac to maybe finish this with one score, barring any rekindling of the sap mastery variety. Oh, and a bunch of nifty sap and sapling based banishments there for Frost King. Doesn't have enough time to set up a throw on that go round. Back with Dalbert though. And seemingly jumped straight into Lilac's aura without getting banished. At least initially there, that was a little bit odd. Maybe he hadn't quite touched the ground yet. But it seemed like he was defying banishment. There is the rekindling that we thought might take place. It's 10 for Frost King, so Frost King does hold on. But it could still be a one-score game for either player. Again, we don't really know definitively as to whether Lilac has any rekindling. But Frost King looking to test that theory right now. Will this be the deciding play? No, it will not, as Lilac also has precisely 10 rekindling, so now we have a sudden death match in which one score for either player would seal it, and there it is, Frost King
GG.
with the winning
They
plunge.
somehow managed to
GG.
scrape by despite their adversaries' efforts.
Well played.
The ceremony is complete.
All right, well, let's head on back.
Until the next rite.
It is time now for the Liberation Rite, and I don't know, it may be hard to get a closer, a tenser Liberation Rite than the match we just saw, but these two are very closely matched, it seems. That's not the first time we had some sudden death matches between them. So this will be our final rite of the night, our Liberation Rites. No requests from chat for this one, just gonna have players take their preferred teams. We'll turn that sermon intro on and we'll go Never to Return Fate Edition this time round. And if you're both ready, then let us begin.
The time is nigh, exiles, who are gathered at the fall of Solium. You now have this chance to prove yourselves. Try not to let the pressure get to you. Prepare yourselves, Nightwings. The Fate, stand ready. The rite shall begin forthwith.
Alright, so as we said, this will be our final rite of the night, our liberation rite, so no requests from chat for this one. Players take in their preferred teams to finish things off in style. For Frost King, that means Jody with a ring in the first spot. Oralek with Mooncrest in the first spot for Lilac. And the Stowaway will be the one with the second ring for Frost King. Also Stowaway for Lilac, except in this case, different talisman, it's Leech. Speedy Bertrude will be the final choice for Frost King. And Lilac will finish with Speedy Jodariel. Alright, so here we go, our final rite of the night, our liberation rite, Frost King on the left representing the Nightwings, and Lilac on the right representing the Fate. Best of luck to you both.
Yes. Banishment for all. Jodariel flung the orb into the flame. In the name of Solium Mur, the rite is nearly ended. By the scribes. The Nightwings seem to be falling behind. And there it is, at last.
And there it is. GG. Lots of close matches tonight, that being one of them. Beautiful.
Thus ends the Liberation Rite.
That was our Liberation Rite, our final rite of the night. So thank you everybody who participated in the rites today and everybody who gave us the requests in chat as well. I am going to hop out of Discord, but I will catch you guys next time. I just cut off Frosking. I'm sorry, Frosking. I will also free you from remote play. Or at least attempt to. There we go. Alright. Let me just throw this screen on as well. As I was saying, that was our Liberation Rite, our final rite of the night. So thank you everybody who participated in the rites and everybody who gave us the requests in chat as well. This was of course Pyre Community Rite Night, and if you're interested in getting more involved in multiplayer Pyre, then the best way to do so is by joining the Rite Club Discord server, which you can do by clicking on that link right there. My name is Lids. I'm hosting these Rite Nights. My streaming schedule is actually going to be a little bit different this upcoming week because there's an update coming out on Friday for Path of Exile 2. So what I'm expecting us to end up with is Wednesday, we'll probably end up doing Mass Effect Andromeda multiplayer. Not the usual day, but again, just to accommodate updates for other games. Thursday, probably the First Descendant, and then Friday is the day of the Path of Exile 2 update. Then Saturday is Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, and Sunday is, of course, Rite Night. Lids Vids on YouTube as well, posting the VODs for all those streams, so if you missed anything, you can catch it there as well. Also doing some Hades 2 videos straight to YouTube, as well as my first ever Path of Exile build guide video, which I need to make, like, tomorrow. So hopefully that's going to happen, because that needs to happen before the update on Friday, preferably a little while before that update on Friday. But if you haven't done so yet already, of course, you can also hit the follow button to get a notification for when I go live. Also, at LidsVids on Twitter, I post there when I go live as well. But actually, the best place to stay up to date on all things Lids, especially on a week such as this upcoming one, when the schedule is going to differ from what we might usually have, my Discord, you can join by clicking on that link right there. But that's going to be it for me for tonight, so thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed the stream, and I'll catch you next time.